All right. Welcome, everybody, to FusionCast Episode 2. I'm Fusion64, and along with me today is Rebel Blood 80 again. We've made it to our next show, and it hasn't been 7 years, so we're doing pretty good here.
It's a new record.
It is a new record. How you doing?
Good, good. How are you?
Oh, not too bad. It's a busy day, busy week. A lot to talk about. The big new releases, some big news.
Yeah, it seems like the world of video games are starting to get a little busy.
It's happening. It's happening. Although, there's some big news that happened today where the world of video games is going to be maybe a little different now, but we'll get to that eventually.
Yeah. Well, before then, you want to go with what you been playing this week?
Sure, I'll do one and then I'll throw one off to you. How about that?
Sounds good.
Let's start with the little small. I think I've been playing 4 games this week. Not all of them a lot. One of them a lot. The other 3, not a ton. We played a little bit of Smash Brothers with my kids this week, so that game is super fun with actual kids. Well, other people locally co-op playing.
Yeah, that's always a good time.
Yeah, I've always played Smash Brothers for about 10, 15 hours, and then that's it. But now that my kids are, I got a 9 and a 4-year-old, so now they're super into Smash. My youngest started playing Mario Brothers this year, and then he went to Kirby. He loves Kirby. He knows all the Kirby characters are just crazy. And then he started watching YouTube and discovered Smash Brothers on YouTube. He's like, "Oh my God, what's this, Dad? We need to get this Smash Brothers game." So I'm like, "Oh, I got it." So I put it on. He's just mind's blown. He's like, "Oh my God, they got Sonic, they got this guy, they got that guy." So, yeah.
And you know what you need to do? You need to have him unlock all the unlockable characters for you.
I already had them all unlocked. I already had them all unlocked. But I mean, yeah, it's we get me and him and the oldest one we play, and then I gotta kind of let him win, which unfortunately, you gotta do. Although I will say, on Mario Kart is the one game where I don't let my kids win ever. Me and my buddy, he used to live with me when I was younger. We used to have fierce Mario Kart tournaments where it was heated. It was there was blood on the line. So yeah. I don't let nobody. It's like Fast and Furious. I don't let anybody beat me in Mario Kart.
You have the Nintendo expansion pass to get those extra tracks.
Yeah, we've played them a few times, not a ton, but we have played them a few times. They're okay. They're not as good as the base game ones. At least because they've got a lot of the Mario Kart Tour ones in there, so those are fine. But the older remixed ones are pretty good.
Nice.
The Mario Kart Tour ones are kind of some generic tracks, basically. But yeah, Smash is fun. It's one of those games that's good, and then if you have more people to play, it's even better.
Do you have multiple controllers, or
Yeah.
do you just do the little Joy-Cons by themselves?
Yeah, so my oldest has a Switch OLED. My youngest has a Lite. So we and I have a Pro controller. So they used both Joy-Cons, and then I used the Pro controller. So yeah,
Well, that's
no,
good.
we couldn't use those little ass Joy-Con, the single ones. Yeah, no.
Yeah, I've tried to play a game like that before, and my big man hands.
Yeah, oh yeah.
I don't know what Nintendo was thinking for that, other than little kids.
Right, totally. Yeah, totally. But yeah, that's it for Smash. I mean, I'll go just because that was quick. I'll go to my next one, and that's March's PS Plus game. One of them was Minecraft Legends. So we started playing that couch co-op. And do you remember what year that came out on Xbox? Was that 2019? Well, it was a multiplayer, right? Yeah, it came out 2019, I believe, right?
I think it came out everywhere at the same time, didn't it?
Yeah, but what year was that? 2019? It's either 2019 or 2020, I think. It was, yeah. But it's a good game. That's I would say that's my definition of a good game.
Yeah,
And that's
you know why I don't remember when it came out? It's because it's a Game Pass game.
Oh yeah, I feel like that game kind of got kind of harshly judged because I feel like it came out at a time where like Xbox didn't have comparatively a ton of first party like AAA games compared to PlayStation, and so like people were looking at every little release like with a microscope. And if that game would have came out like this year in between like say Redfall and Starfield, I feel like it would have been looked at a lot better probably.
It still should have been looked at a lot better because it came out when Xbox didn't have really anything coming out, and it was at least something coming out. But people were expecting
the next big
games,
right? So like they added pressure to it, really.
Yeah,
but like that's
people
like
wanted Halo, and Xbox was like, "Here you go, play some Minecraft, Diablo."
Right. Well, that's like another game though that like you could totally. I feel like reviewers are probably playing this like by themselves, and I'm sitting here playing with my kids, and we're having a blast. And it's not like something I could totally see if you're playing it alone. Like, okay, yeah, it's not Diablo, so it's but not great.
Yeah, that's kind of why I fell off of it. I was just playing it by myself, and it was just a Game Pass game, and there's so many Game Pass games that it's just.
And it's simple, but so I think I played it when it came out with my oldest when he was probably 5 maybe or 6 at the time, and so he didn't totally grasp the concept of like the gear and all that stuff. But now he's like, oh, this is like a plus, this is level 12, and this is level 9. I'm going to put this hammer on. Oh, it's got like lightning on it. So like he's kind of grasped the gear system. And now we got the 4-year-old next to us, and we're just like, here, just hit X and just hit swing your sword or whatever. And this is for your arrows. Then when he's got a heal, I just reach over and hit the L1 to heal on him. So we're handling his gear for him. And yeah, it's a good game. Definitely.
You're prepping him for Diablo 4.
Right? Yeah, no. And I'm sitting here thinking, I'm like, am I a bad dad if we play Diablo 3? It's on the Switch, and I'm like, yeah, probably. You probably shouldn't. We don't need that. So.
Diablo 3 ain't that bad.
No,
Diablo 4,
it's not.
From what I played, is going to be maybe a little too much for a little kid. There's a lot of blood in that opening cutscene.
I'm sure running around shooting people in Fortnite is probably just as rotting his brain just as much as Diablo would probably.
Probably.
So, but yeah, I think that's a really good game. That was a good PS Plus game. We had a save on Xbox where we've gotten a 5-10 hours in maybe at the most, and the only reason we didn't continue that is we only had 2 Xbox controllers. So with that being a free PS Plus game for the month, we're like, we'll just start over. And there's a ton of DLC for it too, so like I might end up buying that on the store.
Yeah, there is. I'm wondering how that is because I didn't get any of that.
I didn't either, but it looks pretty. I mean, from the pictures, it looks like unique. So,
pretty sure I didn't buy Minecraft Dungeons. I don't know. That's something I'll have to double check.
Yeah,
I may or may not own it.
Gotcha. I don't see why. Well, yeah, it's on Game Pass, so yeah, you never had to buy it.
No, but I'm a crazy person that just buys stuff anyways when it's on sale.
You are a crazy person. Yeah, totally. That's funny. But yeah, that's my 2 small games for the week. What about you? What do you got?
I'm gonna go with kind of a letdown,
Uh-oh.
but a deep cut for me. I used to play it every year. I started a game up on Steam again, probably a couple months ago, and I've been playing it here or there. Chrono Trigger.
Ah.
It's a bad port on Steam. It has achievements, and I was like, you know what? It'd be cool to get the achievements for probably one of my top 5 favorite games of all time. And apparently the achievements are broken, so that's kind of taking the steam out of that game for me.
No, not PC having something broken. No. No. But
yeah, if I spent some time, though, I might be able to Google a fix for it.
Everything's better there, though.
Hey, at least we have Chrono Trigger. What do you got?
Is it? I don't even know if it's on PlayStation or not. I don't even pay attention.
No, it's nowhere.
Is it?
I think
is
it's
that the original or is it didn't they remake or remaster one or something? They chibied one of those games, didn't they?
That
Cross?
was a couple of the Final Fantasy ones.
Okay.
That they kind of redrew the characters.
Right. Oh man, the PC. It's been a rough year for the PC launches.
A little bit with the Last of Us coming out in a broken state.
Oof! You see some of those pictures? They had one of them. There's one going around where Joel is in like blackface, and they're like, "Oh, is there?" Someone posted like, "Oh, they're gonna come and cancel Joe now." I was laughing.
Didn't that already happen in the second one though?
Yeah, right. Yeah. PC. Oof. No, thank you. The,
Yeah, other than Chrono Trigger, I've been playing a little bit of, well, actually quite a bit of a game called Stellaris.
okay, I've heard of it.
Lost my second 20-hour long game in a row. When you take kind of a break from that. It's a 4X strategy game.
And is it like if you die, you lose everything, or?
No, I just started losing the game and I was like,
Oh,
I
okay.
don't have enough time to try to manage this to come back from it. That's the other part of the problem is having enough time to play these games.
Right.
And once I start losing, it's like, I better start fresh because I could probably fix this, but the investment of just my time to fix what's going wrong in my space empire would take too long.
Yeah. That's what I love about Resident Evil is like it's just straightforward. Not a giant open world where you got to go here, talk to this person, go there, talk to that person, pick up this thing, go bring it to that person, kill this guy, then go bring this thing back to these other people. It's like I don't know how much I can do that. Open world games are starting. So I'm like having. I'm not too thrilled to go back to Hogwarts after RE.
Yeah, it's also kind of why I'm falling off of. I did play a little bit more of Ishin Like a Dragon,
Oh, okay, yeah.
but it's open world and there's just too many side quests. I was starting to do too many of them, getting distracted from the main story, and I was nearly falling asleep in my chair. Some of them are really fun to do, and other ones are just kind of very boring, where I find myself wanting to mash the button through the text because there's just so much text in that game, and the
Yeah.
cutscenes are so long. And again, I don't have much time, so I've got to try to invest my time where I can to.
Is that like an open world like because the of well from Yakuza 1 is like an open world but it's not like a massive it's like an open town basically. What would be the size you would say of Ishin compared to that?
This one's an open town too, and I think there might be like other towns that you could go to. I haven't gotten that far into it yet, but I think that there's going to be other areas, and they're smaller. It's like a lot of streets and ancient Japanese alleyways and stuff like that, and you just fight samurais and bandits on the road. But it's like a mini open world. It just cutscenes are a little too long, even though they're super interesting and fun. And the side quests can go on a little too long sometimes too.
I need
But I have some days coming off, so maybe I'll get back into it. And some days off coming up, I'll get back into it, and maybe I'll beat it.
I need to remember after this podcast to just download Yakuza Kiwami 2 and just keep it on my system so that way it's there and I don't forget about it and it's like, all right, you got something time, you can come play me. Because otherwise,
Yeah.
I forget about it, and then every time you bring up Yakuza, I'm like, oh yeah, that's right. I need to get back to that.
The main storylines in all of them that I played are fantastic, often hilarious,
Yeah,
and a great time. They just throw so much content in there, but it's not as big as like an Ubisoft open world game.
yeah.
So it's more condensed, but there's still a lot of stuff going on. And then I'm going to give you a little segue here. The final game that I played maybe for about, I don't know, an hour before I was like, I can't do these controls. The old Resident Evil HD.
Ooh, the like the one that was remade for the GameCube, the original, right? Obviously not on
Yeah, it's
GameCube, but
remastered from the GameCube version. I was playing that on Steam and I was like, oh, these tank controls,
oh man,
I'm gonna die. I can't turn like this. I can't aim like this. I made it to about the first not city, but village fight where you get swarmed after they pin you in the house, and I was like, this is too rough. I'm gonna have to wait until I get the new remaster Resident Evil 4.
I need to get that on Wii. Go back to play it on Wii. That's the ultimate RE4 on Wii with the pointer controls.
I've got a Wii U. I
Oh,
just need to dig out my Wii controllers.
that's what you need to do. Get it. I've been thinking of which one I want to go buy because I kind of what's coming up. That Horizon DLC is coming up like April 19th, and so I'm not going to obviously start anything big. So I've been thinking like after I finish RE4, which will probably be tomorrow, probably of going back and probably going back at RE2 remake just to see because those are number 1 and 2 for me of the modern ones. Just to go, because RE2 is like my favorite. I think of all of them, probably because of how old I was when I first played it. I was a teenager when I first played that one, and it was like I feel like that game, Final Fantasy VII, and like Metal Gear Solid were like the oh my god, this is what video games are. Like they had the CG of the voice acting, and that game just like it holds a special place to me. So and then the remake, I love the remake. It's great. But
Yeah, that was a good remake.
RE4 is absolutely amazing. This is probably, if it's not the best, it's in that category of best games like that have come out this gen, I think, for me. I haven't played Elden Ring, so I can't say much about that, but oh, dude, it's so effing good. Like visually, it's stunning. It's just fun to play. It's just constantly pushing you forward and constantly going. But I did get to the point where I think because they said last week I've never beaten it, but I think I got to the second Krauser fight. Is there a second Krauser fight?
You know what? It's been so long since I own, yeah, I still own it on GameCube. That's where I originally played it, and that's where I believe I beat it, or my roommate at the time beat it. I can't remember which, but I did see that game all the way through, whether the controller was in my hand or not. I don't remember how many Krauser fights there are.
Okay, yeah. So I fought him the first time, and I'm like I just actually met Salazar, and Ashley has been taken again for like the third or fourth time or whatever in this game. So that's kind of where I'm at. And I remember getting to this point in the original and being and like falling off because I like it's not my favorite part of the game, but I'm still having fun. It's still a really great game. I like the RE2 atmosphere better. The story, I mean, you could say all the Resident Evil stories are stupid, but I feel like this one is like bordering on really wild and weird. So, and I think Resident Evil 2 story is more grounded for a zombie game. So, but like, yeah, like I love getting all the the collectibles and like the economy of like selling stuff and buying upgrades and all the different guns. The enemies are awesome to fight. Although the bosses are a little hit and miss in this. And I forgot to say, it has like the best use of the PS5 haptics and triggers. That one,
Really?
the section where you're driving the boat, you're in that little lake and you're driving the boat around. Dude, this thing, like these triggers are fighting you back. That's how it's awesome. It's like, oh my god! I'm like, this is better than like any Sony first party game using the haptics and the triggers.
That's cool. I've yet to experience a game where that's really good.
Yeah, I would say Astro does it really well. Astrobot, the triggers are like the haptics.
The haptics.
Okay, yeah, Astrobot, that game that's included, does it really well. A lot of games do them really subtly. This one, when you're running, it feels like you're taking footsteps, kind of, in the controller. Borderlands, believe it or not, Borderlands 3 does a really good job with the triggers. Like because you know how like there's different types of guns in Borderlands. Like there'll be like a laser feels like totally different when you pull the trigger down, and then like a pistol, like a 6-shooter, will feel like you'll hear like click 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 when you're shooting it, and then like if you have a burst submachine gun, you pull it down, you'll feel almost like 3 little ding 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 kind of when you're pulling it down. So that's another one that uses the triggers really well. But
That's
yeah,
cool.
But for the most part, a lot of games don't really do it that well. But I was really surprised at how well they use it in this game. But yeah, man, I love this game. This game is so awesome. And I think there's gonna be like the Mercenaries mode is supposed to come early in April, I believe. So I'm probably just gonna keep this game installed. I don't think I'll do another playthrough, but it's gonna stay on the system for sure. just because it's fun to play. It's
So are
super
you
fun.
thinking Game of the Year contender
Oh yeah,
right now?
easily, definitely for sure. I haven't played Dead Space. This is way better than Hogwarts. Hogwarts is good, but this is way better. What else have I played that's yeah, I don't think there's anything else that I played that's this good.
All right.
Yeah. And then the other one that I played was more Walking Dead Saints and Sinners. I posted a video where I'm just doing a lot of goofy shit in it. The game is so fun. It's a survival game basically in VR with some like people give you missions to go do stuff, but you're basically throughout the whole game you got to scavenge, bring stuff back to your base and turn it into junk, and it turns into like different like metal, wood, proteins. Your food turns into proteins, sugars, and then you basically level up your skill trees, and then you create more weapons and health and stuff, and then you just do it, rinse and repeat. But like, yeah, you can interact with so much stuff in the environment. You're going around like chopping heads off, grabbing them up, and throwing them at people. And I like interacting with like the actual like living people in the game and just blowing their heads off. Or I found
Throwing heads at the other zombies do anything?
I haven't thrown a head at them. And you know what? I the other day I was thinking I had a little hatchet. And I was chopping heads off, and then like the next day, I'm like, oh my god, I should try throwing the hatchet, letting go of because there's a button you have to hold to grab like a gun or a melee weapon, and I'm like, I wonder if like I go into throwing motion and I can just let go and throw it, like if it'll throw and stick into the zombies, but I haven't got a hatchet since.
I'll be keeping an eye out for that video.
Yeah, but you can like split their insides open and rub like their blood on you and like walk around and like disguise yourself with them. There's just like so much stuff. It's a fun VR sandbox. Probably the best VR game I've ever played. It's so much fun.
That's cool.
And like I mean, there's two of them out because this game is old. This game came out in 2020. But they like up-resed it and stuff for PSVR 2, and I'm really excited to get through this one and get to the second one. But like I don't see that one happen for like months, just because I'm just screwing around all the time in this game. But yeah, it's an open world server. It's not open world, like it has like a whole bunch of little spots on a map. You pick a spot and it goes to like a small like little street, and in this street you can go in like maybe like two houses, and yeah. Just screw around. A bunch of little weapons to find, and I found like a saw blade attached to like a wooden stick the other day, and I rolled up on this living guy. I was like, "What's up, dog?" And I just struck him over the head with it. Oh man!
Is there any repercussions for that?
Oh yeah, his whole clan like was coming after me basically. And I was like, "Oh, we got some gang warfare over here." And I just started shooting him back. Yeah, it's fun. I died a lot, but yeah, other than that, that's all I've been playing. It's a lot of games, but I'm close to being done. Like I said, I should be finished Resident Evil probably tomorrow, and then swap that out with probably RE2, I'm guessing. There's a sale this week on PlayStation Network for what is the Final Fantasy VII game that came out in December? Crisis Core.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, that's on sale, so I might buy that, but I'm not going to start it probably because. Do you know how big of a game that is?
I don't. I don't know if I have any interest in that or not. Because it looks different.
Yeah, totally. I like it because if you played Peace Walker, Metal Gear Solid Peace Walker.
Is that the card one?
No, that's the one that's like it's actually a Metal Gear Solid game, but it's like small little missions because it was on the PSP. So like this was kind of compared to that, where it's like it's action based, but there's small little action missions with like these characters that I like enjoy. So that's kind of why I'm excited about it.
Oh, okay.
Like bite size. I'm like I said, I can't. I'm so happy Resident Evil is just like straightforward path, just go, and it's not stopping for BS and.
Yeah, I think we need more games like that.
Right. That's why I'm like Horizon, the Horizon DLC. I love Horizon, but I'm like, oh man, I don't know if I can do another open world.
You're on your own
on
that one.
Yeah, I don't know if I can do another open world game right now. But you have to beat the Horizon Forbidden West to actually play this. So
Yeah, I'm not a big
So, I
fan of
don't know.
Horizon. I've tried multiple times to get into Horizon.
The first game is a slow start. It's a slow start.
Not only that, I just didn't like how it didn't feel like there was any weight behind any of my arrows, and
You know,
it didn't click with me.
I really enjoyed it, but I played that. I didn't play it until like September of that year because when it came out like 2 weeks before Breath of the Wild did. And I'm like, I'm not gonna start both of these games at the same time. Basically, I'm like, I want to enjoy them, and I'm like, I don't want to. In Horizon, looking at Horizon, I'm like, I don't want to not like Breath of the Wild because I played Horizon and like, oh man, this game looks ugly. So I put Horizon off to the September, and
Breath of the Wild is the better game, though.
oh yeah, hands down, definitely for sure, definitely for sure. Speaking of,
And how's that for another segue?
Speaking of Breath of the Wild. Got a video for 10 minutes of Tears of the Kingdom gameplay. I haven't heard your thoughts on this yet, so I'm excited to hear what you have to say about it because you are a big fan of Breath of the Wild as well, correct?
Yes. Yes. I actually bought that game on the Wii U. I still have my copy on the Wii U.
Wow.
Playing it with that TV tray of a controller.
Wow.
Where you had to spin that thing. Remember the puzzles where you had to like flip the ball around?
Oh, yeah.
Imagine flipping that controller around.
Yeah.
To do that. That was not fun. And then I got a Switch, and then I had to get it on the Switch.
Right.
So I played it through a good chunk of it on the Wii U with all the slowdown and pop in on there. Oh. And then I had to start brand new on the Switch. Yeah, I really like that game. And this next one coming up looks really good.
I played that all with I played it all with the Joy-Cons before you finish. I played that all with the Joy-Cons and because I was stubborn, and I'm like, this is how they intended me to play the system, is with these Joy-Cons. I'm switching it, and I was stubborn and wouldn't buy a Pro Controller, and I played it with those shitty ass Joy-Cons. So I'm excited to just play this with the Pro Controller now. But go ahead. You were gonna say.
Played my Switch playthrough with it in bed, so they were connected to the Switch. So it was kind of like recreating the Wii U experience for me.
Oh, there you go. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I have a concern.
Okay, go for it.
My concern is the Switch is starting to show its age. If you look really closely at that video, you could see
It looked fuzzy to me, the video. I'm like, this looks fun, but looks fuzzy.
Draw distance didn't look all that good,
and there's a lot of stuff looks like that's going on in this game compared to the first one, like all the others, all the crafting stuff, and I agree.
It looks kind of goofy too, but I'm interested. I'm digging it. It looks really goofy, really ridiculous, especially when he stuck that stick on a stick,
right,
or pitchfork on a stick, and he made an extra long pitchfork. I was like, that's ridiculous, but I dig it,
right.
But yeah, I'm excited for it, but it's really making the Switch look old and decrepit.
Yeah, my concerns were like, 2017, there was a different time. You weren't gaming on PC, you didn't have a high-powered PC to game on, I don't believe, in 2017, right?
No, I built that in 2020.
All right, yeah, so we were still on the PS, we were still PlayStation, Xbox, and it was a more fair comparison back then. And now, even if you were just gaming on Xbox and you didn't have a PC, we'd still be playing just about everything at 60 frames per second. And yeah, I'm with you on that one. I noticed that was the first thing. Like when the video came up, I'm like, man, looks a little fuzzy. Now, to be fair, like I saw people online on Twitter saying that YouTube compression was bad, and they showed some comparisons from like the YouTube video to some screenshots that Nintendo actually sent out, and it looked a little better. But I still,
I saw a lot of pop-in.
Right,
going on.
Yeah. And you even like Breath of the Wild, the draw distance wasn't very far. Like for like an open world game, you want to see, oh, what's that over there? You couldn't usually see it until you were somewhat closer. So I'm excited about it, but not as excited about it because obviously visually and frame rate wise, but I'm not creative in that aspect where I'm like, oh, hey, let's craft this, let's do that. I'm more of like, give me more story, give me dungeons, add some new weapons, and I would have been good. I don't know how much I may, but I don't know how much I'm gonna screw around with sandbox stuff. Maybe I'm wrong. We'll see. But
I think it depends upon how integral it is to the gameplay.
right.
Like the one part they showed where you could cross the river, you could still swim across that river.
Right, I know. I'm like, this isn't unless you have no stamina yet. Maybe there's no Koroks this one where you can't improve your stamina, but I doubt it.
I would like if there was none of those seeds, but also if they changed it to something different. I did not enjoy collecting those seeds.
I did because I mean not because I did, but like I did it because it was part of like the whole gameplay loop. Like when people are like, they should get rid of the destructible weapons they should get rid of, and it's like, dude, that is core to like the loop of this game where it's like, oh, there's a chest there. Oh, I need another weapon. Oh, I need a shield. Oh, I need a bow. Oh, because they break. So that chest is important to where like a game like Horizon, the chest, like the stuff in there is useless because it's just like crafting materials that like I craft this. I don't even craft weapons. I craft more ammo. It's like, okay. So like chests are super important in that game. Every chest. So
yeah.
That's my favorite thing about Nintendo is they don't usually listen to people that complain on the internet. They just like they make the games. Like,
sometimes they should though.
Sometimes they should
make
but
a Switch 2. We need
right.
a Switch 2,
It's coming. It's coming. After we get our playthrough of Zelda a few months down the line, they'll probably announce it and they'll be like, "Oh, it's gonna Zelda's gonna be even better. You can play it again and you can buy it again," and I will. But it
needs to be backwards compatible with all the Switch stuff I own.
But for like their gameplay and stuff, they don't usually listen to what people say, which is good.
No, and that what makes going to them and playing their games kind of like a treat.
Like
after playing back-to-back Ubisoft games, you know what you're playing when you play an Ubisoft game,
right?
And then you go play a Nintendo game, and you're like, oh, this is cute and this is fun, and sometimes it could even be relaxing.
Right. Yeah, I'm excited for it. A little worried about performance, but I know I'm gonna probably play that for like 2 months, and this channel become like a Zelda channel probably for 2 months. I think I played that game nonstop. That was like the first game in forever where it was like, no, I'm not touching anything else until I beat this game. All 120 shrines, and yeah.
Complete the island where you couldn't wear any armor or have any metal weapons.
That was so awesome. It was ever something island. I forgot what it was called. But yeah. Eventide Island or something like that. Yeah.
I don't know. Now you got me wanting to go pop in my cartridge.
I've been almost thinking of like going back and just playing.
Be worth it to see the difference between how that one looked and the new one coming out.
It would, but I also at the same time I don't want to be like. I don't want to be too Zelda'd out before that comes and be like, maybe a couple hours. But yeah, I don't know. I'll probably just clean up some stuff on my PS5 until then. And we got Power Wash Simulator yesterday. My kid's been playing that. So
that looks like a lot of fun.
It is. Oh, have you not played it?
And stupid. No, I've not.
Oh, it's dumb fun. It's such dumb fun. I love it. You just it's a great podcast game, or put anything on you want to listen to, or I should probably like learn about something important in the background and just play that and just go to town.
No, you don't want to do that. You want to put on something stupid.
It's chores the game.
Like FusionCast.
Right, yeah. It's chores the game. They should just make more chore games. I was almost thinking of getting like Construction Simulator, and then there's like a police simulator on there too, but no.
There's a lot of them on PC, man.
Yeah. What else for Zelda? Anything else got you worried, concerned, excited?
No. Do you think they're going to do DLC again?
Oh, yeah, probably. I think this game is going to... I'm kind of torn whether this one's going to sell as much as the first one. I know it's going to sell a lot, but I think the first one's at like, is it 27 million copies, something like that? I don't know.
I think it's going to sell... I think
it'll do about 20 at least.
Yeah, I'll estimate around there too.
Yeah.
Because you're going to have some people that bought in on the hype and they didn't really like the game. They didn't like the weapon degrade system. And you could see that's still there.
Yeah.
Obviously.
I think they probably solved that with the crafting.
Hit.
Yeah, totally. It seems like they've solved that with the crafting. So I just hopefully it's not too complicated, and you can, and they've added dungeons. I think that was like the biggest complaint where I think that they should listen to is just add dungeons.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a hit.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be a hit already. I was almost gonna buy that OLED console just to have, but I don't know. We'll see when it comes out. I didn't get to.
You already have an OLED?
I do, yeah. I was just gonna buy it, just to have a box on my desk. So I'm a dummy.
I don't know. I kind of like that design.
You do or don't?
I do.
Yeah, it's nice. All right, E3. Oh yeah, we talked about this earlier, but they announced that E3 is canceled. That sucks.
About damn time.
No, E3 is great, or it was great. It was great. Now it's not
wasn't.
anymore, but it was back, 5-6 years ago. It was fun. You not like fun?
Before it became commercialized and
I like when it's commercialized. Sell me, wine and dine me. I'm high maintenance. Sell
all
me your
you ever
products.
get out of it though is
Lie to me.
PG cinematics.
Lie to me. Sell me your products. I want to be excited.
Here's an example. Ubisoft.
Yeah.
Watch Dogs. That game looked fucking phenomenal.
When they have all the people like, hey, you go here, you do this. Oh, I'm coming. I got you. When they would have like the fake people on chat during the game.
Well, that's one of the things, but I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about how awesome the game looked. If you go back and look at their original presentation of Watch Dogs, the original one, it looked freaking amazing at the time. And then it released and it just looked average.
Yeah.
And just trash. That's all. That's why I don't like E3, because they overhype you, and then when you get the game in your hands, it's not what you saw in E3.
Yeah.
But if E3 was going down, I still would watch it.
Of course. I just miss it. Now we don't know when, like the past few years, Sony hasn't been there since like 2019, and like you don't even know if they're going to have a show or when it's going to be. At least you knew like in June, the second week of June, there was a big show where everybody's going to attend, and you're going to see some really awesome stuff. Now it's like, who knows now?
No, Jeff Keighley won't let you down.
Yeah, right. I mean, he's going to have a whole bunch of like smaller AA indie stuffs. He might have a couple big games, but you're not going to have like the big three.
Well, Nintendo's already doing their own stuff.
Yeah, but
they're not going.
They're not going to do like an E3 show around E3, so we don't know if they're going to do one later. I think there was one. Was it the COVID year or was it 2 years ago? They didn't do one until like August, I think. And Sony didn't do anything last year. I mean, at least before when they had E3 and they were all like attending, they at least, even if they didn't have a lot, they still came and showed some stuff.
I'm okay with the way things are going though, because we get a little bit more information throughout the year instead of just one big dump.
I'd be okay with it if there was like, okay, Sony's going in May, Xbox is going in June, Nintendo's going in July. If we knew, I like surprises, but I don't like. The thing of is like, okay, Sony's gonna have a show this month. They're gonna have a show the next month, and then they don't, and it's like, okay, well, it's probably gonna be next month, and then it's like, okay, it's probably gonna be August then. Yeah, it's probably gonna be August. And like, well, it's got to come September, and then it just doesn't show. It's like, all right, well, it's not coming this year.
If they annualized all of their shows, like you always knew Xbox was going to be in August and PlayStation was going to be in July or whatnot. Yeah, I agree. That would be better.
Well, I mean, I think Nintendo's is kind of down to a science. They usually have like a big spring direct, which they had this year, and then they usually have like their E3 one, and then they usually have a big fall one, and then maybe some smaller ones in between. So they've kind of got theirs basically pegged out. Obviously, there has been rumors that like they're not going to have like a big summer one this year because possibly they might not have a ton of games because there might be a Switch successor next year. Who knows? But it seems like Xbox now, they've got that June slot. They're still staying there basically. Because didn't they already announce their show like for June something, I believe?
I imagine they always had a show in June. Even when E3 got canceled, what was it, the year of COVID? They still had a show.
Yeah. They're still.
Around
I think they're
E3.
still saying June, basically. So it's just kind of Sony's still kind of like the wild card, which is annoying.
Yeah, but what does anybody have to show us?
Games. I mean, Sony doesn't have anything announced other than Spider-Man and Wolverine. That's it.
I know. I'm asking you, what do you want to see announced?
Oh, okay. I mean, all the other teams are working on. There's this Last of Us multiplayer game. I mean, they're working supposedly with a bunch of like second party games that are like making some multiplayer games. I want to see that. Uh,
They need them.
yeah, like the last or that Last of Us multiplayer game. More VR stuff. They just launched the VR system. Need to see more VR games. There's a bunch of like rumored. There's a couple rumored multiplayer games from like Gorilla. What else? They've got a lot of stuff they can show. Like I said, all they have is just Insomniac and Wolverine and Spider-Man. That's the only thing that we've basically know of, that and that Last of Us multiplayer game. So they've got,
Okay, you got me. I do want to see more of that Wolverine game.
yeah.
I need to see more of that Wolverine game.
So I mean, that's probably a year or two away at least. So they could show that. I mean, they don't something like Spider-Man. They don't need to show until like 2-3 months before it's coming out, really. But like the stuff that's coming out next year, we need to know about. There's a rumored Twisted Metal game.
I bought Twisted Metal on PS5.
I'm ready for. Oh yeah, I have that too. That's a good game.
I remember playing that game on PlayStation 2 and beating it with every single character to get every single cutscene and unlock everything. I played for 5 minutes. I'm like, shit, I don't remember how to control any of this.
That was a really good.
Moved on to something else.
That that was a really good era of video games, like around that time when that came out.
Yeah, it was.
We had PS2, Xbox. I vividly remember buying Twisted Metal Black at GameStop. It's a great game. But yeah,
I
that
still might have my PlayStation 2 disc somewhere.
Xbox, I know they've got a lot to show this year too, so it's exciting just as long as we get these shows, I guess. I mean, I don't mind if the stuff is more spread out. It's just knowing when it's going to be, really. I guess they're just going to start showing stuff when it's ready, really, instead of like having to have it like at E3 time. Aren't you excited for all that? You're going to be upset. You're going to miss the Ubisoft conference at E3?
That has always been the worst one.
That's funny.
Devolver Digital has always been one of the better ones because of the ridiculous storyline that they've been doing throughout the years.
Yeah.
Which I hope they continue this year. But Ubisoft is absolutely always the worst one.
Right. Yeah, they're not very good. I'm not a huge fan
they're
of
not.
this stuff. I tried to play Far Cry 6 and I'm like, it's fine. I'm tired of this.
Yeah, I put on an Ubisoft game if you want to fall asleep.
Right. Yep.
And it doesn't matter which one because they're all the same damn game.
They are. They're all the same damn game. Oh, you know what? I'll sneak this back in. I forgot to talk that I played a couple, maybe an hour or two of Metroid Prime remastered.
Wait, how is that? I've been hearing good things.
It's good. I forgot how good that game is. It looks pretty. For a Switch game, it looks pretty. It looks like they did a decent amount of work to it.
Is it dual joystick controls? Because I don't think it was on the GameCube, was it?
No, it was single. And then you had to hold a button to aim. But no, it's dual joysticks. Then you have obviously the lock-on button, so if you could get close, you can just hit that and lock on. It's very good.
Yeah, I need to get that. Not buying the physical version, though.
No, why?
Isn't it rare at this point and also kind of expensive?
I don't think it's expensive. It might have been. I know when it came out, it was like there were people putting it on eBay for like $70 or $80. That's why I got the last copy at GameStop and it was already opened. I'm like, oh, you guys suck. But I don't know if they. I would imagine they restocked it, so it shouldn't really be rare. But I would recommend it. It just kind of just playing that just shows you Nintendo. They're just kind of just all about gameplay and it's fun. The only reason I played that is one of my buddies last night wanted me to play Fortnite, and I'm like, I gotta go to bed. I'm like, well, I can't turn on my PS5 because he's gonna know that I'm flying. So I'm just gonna go play some Switch.
Hiding away from the world with your Switch.
Right? Yeah.
They also should have done 2 and 3. They should have remastered the trilogy and released it at once. I feel like they're nickeling and diming us if they release 2 and then 3.
Oh, you know they're going to. But I'm surprised that they only charged $40 for it because seems like they did a decent amount of work to it.
Yeah, even though I did see that there's a game-breaking glitch on the GameCube version that was still existent in this remaster.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh.
Like if you didn't pick up a relic at a certain time and left, it would vanish and you couldn't complete the game without it.
Well, that's not cool.
No, not cool at all.
Speaking of remakes, there's a rumor of a Metal Gear Solid 3 remake. and possibly going to be shown off. Well, they said it was going to be shown off at like E3 from Konami, but now I don't think there's not going to be an E3, so they probably just have like a digital event. But that is
Or Tokyo Game Show.
that too, yeah. But the rumor is the Metal Gear Solid 3 remake coming next year, possibly Metal Gear Solid Collection coming. Looks probably just like HD ports to current gen, and then a new Castlevania in the works. So that is pretty exciting. I'm excited about that. I love
Iffy
those
about
games.
all of that.
If what? You're iffy about
I'm
all of it.
iffy. Yeah, I'm iffy about all of it because Konami doesn't make their own games anymore.
No, I know, but well, obviously they're getting their Bloober team to do the Silent Hill 2 remake, so obviously they're probably it sounds real. So I think they still want to be in the video game business. They just don't want to make it, probably.
No, they just want to keep their IPs.
Right, yeah, totally, yeah. And get,
So they could slap that Silent Hill on a pachinko machine.
Right. So, I mean, that's the thing, is who's going to do like a Metal Gear Solid 3 remake?
That's a good question because I don't think it's going to be an in-house thing for them. I don't know if they have any development staff anymore.
No. So, I mean, that shouldn't be
because
like
that last Metal Gear Solid game was.
That really shouldn't be too hard of a project. I mean, you got to remake the graphics. I mean, they can keep the game really the same. So, I mean, I could see that happening. The ports are probably no big deal, although we'll probably won't get Metal Gear Solid 4 because that's stranded on PS3 still.
They did have
what?
that collection on Xbox 360, and there was a collection on Xbox 360
Oh, yeah.
of Metal Gear Solid 2 and 3.
Yeah.
Was that also on PS3?
Yes.
It had to have been on PS3.
Yeah. They just, the only thing it's Metal Gear Solid 4 is still just on PS3. It's not gone to anything else yet.
No, did that have any of the ridiculous PlayStation 3 controller stuff in it, where you got to tilt the controller and stuff?
Good question. I don't remember.
I was just watching a video on Killzone earlier, Killzone 2, and I was watching a guy turn a crank, and I was like, really? You had to freaking do that with the controller? Hold two buttons and rotate the controller?
Yeah, I know the Vita had
Everybody
like,
trying to...
a lot of those Vita games had a lot of that stuff on there. But yeah, I could totally see that happening. Like I said, 4 probably won't come. And then Castlevania. I mean, everybody makes Castlevania games now. So like if they made it, I don't, like I said, I had a video come out this week where I talked about this. I don't think it's going to be a 3D Castlevania. It's probably just going to be a 2D one. And like
if it's a new game, it has to be a 3D Castlevania.
It has to be, but it won't be, because like who's going to make a 3D Castlevania game? Anybody can make a 2D one, probably. I feel like.
But everybody already is making far better Castlevania games.
I know.
I was playing one earlier that's actually pretty good called, while I was waiting for you to start the podcast, called, what the hell was it called? Now I'm going to have to go back here and look at it.
I just feel like anybody can make one of those games, and I feel like the Castlevania name is enough to sell it for, $40-$50 probably.
Ender Lilies, that was the game I was playing.
Okay. That sounds familiar.
Yeah, it's got a good hand-drawn art style to it, and it's a Metroidvania, but...
I just feel like a 3D Castlevania is a tall task, and I don't know who would be up to doing that.
Have the last guys that did it do it again.
Yeah,
because that was actually a really good game.
Like Lords of Shadow or something like that?
Yeah, it was actually...
Is that
way underrated in my opinion.
Aren't those the same people that made Metroid Dread and Samus Returns, I feel like?
I think were they the same people that made Other M? Or no, that was Tecmo.
That's Tecmo. Yeah, I think those are the same people that made Samus Returns and I think Dread. And I forgot that studio's name.
Mercury
Steam, yes. Yeah, and I don't know if they're... I think so. I feel like somebody might have bought them, or like they signed a contract to do something with somebody else. It was just in the news recently, I think. I could be wrong, but I think that's correct. I just feel like it's easy. They're like... That's easy money, is just doing another 2D Castlevania game.
What they really need to do is finish their collection and bring me the DS Castlevania games in a collection.
I have the collection. I played one of the GBA games, and I have not finished it. I mean, it's great, but it's another one I need to get back to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Those are good collections.
I,
Good, solid
I think the
collections.
industry's better with at least Konami's IP being remade. That not necessarily they don't need to make them. Just churn out Metal Gear games once every 5 years, please.
Yeah, and keep letting people make your old stuff.
Right, dude, yeah. I mean,
Like we need a re-release again of the Simpsons game, arcade game,
oh yeah, that's a fun game.
and bundle that with some of the other old Konami arcade
Is
games.
The X-Men arcade game, is that Konami too? I mean, it plays just like it. So
I want to say it was Konami.
yeah, we need that one. That one's fun. The Turtles ones, dude. I can't believe we went years without any good Turtle stuff. And was it last year we just got like the collection and then that new one too. Those are awesome games.
Yeah, yeah, they're both really solid.
Right. The new one's really good too. Me and my kids love playing that one.
Yeah, I got to get back to that one and beat that one. It was really good. Really brought back the old school Super Nintendo days.
Right. Yeah, totally. When games were easy.
What are you talking about? Games were easy. Games were harder back
They
then.
were harder. Those games were easy, but like yeah, games were a lot harder. Those games were easy though.
Yeah, beat 'em ups. Beat 'em ups.
Beat
were
'em ups
easy.
were fun. Where you could just beat those in like 2 hours and then just like, all right, well, just keep playing it.
Yeah, or get a group of friends together and just have drinks and just take turns trying to beat the game on the hardest setting.
So
Because none of those games lasted too long.
no, they didn't. No, I think we've beaten all of the Turtles games in the collection except for the first one, obviously, because that one's really hard. But at least
Oh, come on.
it
Stream
has
that.
save states now, so I could probably beat it. I never would have beat Zelda 2 if it wasn't for save states. I was save stating like every fight, like not even boss fight, every fight. Okay, I didn't get hit here. We're gonna go back.
The rewind features very nice too.
Yeah, Zelda 2 is actually a cool game if it has save states, because it's different.
I remember playing that on the Nintendo.
Yep, and I never got
My
very
friend's
far.
NES.
I never. Got
I did
very
not
far.
like it.
No.
No, I should give it another chance though.
We had good news this week. The UK is possibly going to approve the Xbox Activision deal, so that could be. We might not have to hear about it after like the summer, hopefully.
It's going to happen.
Right.
Japan signed off on it.
Yeah, the UK is
It's just
UK was like
become
the biggest
dominoes
opponent
now.
of it, I think, and then they're kind of like, okay, we don't really see. They were just doing their due diligence and like being super thorough, which they should, for like a merger that size. And I'm just tired of hearing about it. Wanted to be over with, and yeah, then I won't have to buy Diablo.
I think Microsoft should make Call of Duty exclusive to the Xbox now after what Sony pulled.
I don't think they. I don't. Yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see like where, because yeah, that's like their
The retribution.
Right.
I want to see these companies fight dirty.
I feel like something like 70% of their players on PlayStation, so I don't know if they would do that. But
No, no, they won't.
No.
But it would be amazing to see and be like, "Oh, you tried to block us, huh?"
I don't think
Well, this is what.
that's going to be like a big deal that's going to do a ton this gen, but like starting the next gen, if you could be like, oh, here, Call of Duty is like free basically with Game Pass, I think that's a big deal for them.
Yeah, but Game Pass is going to cost like $30.
It's going to cut.
at that time,
What's the cutoff for you for like Game Pass for a month? Like, okay, it gets to this price, then you got to start thinking about it.
Right now, $20 seems too high.
Okay, yeah, I mean, because we really haven't, obviously, like they haven't had a ton of first party like new releases, but like I guess when those start churning out, but
I did a couple months of the PlayStation Premium Plus,
Yeah.
and Plus, and that was like $20 something, I think, right? Or after tax, it was close to 20.
Maybe, but I feel like it's like $12 a month if you pay for the whole year. I think it's something. It's cheaper than what Game Pass is, but I forget like you've got to like do the whole year or something. I still haven't signed up for it. I've got so much stuff to play. I'm like, dude, I can't play all these games. And then like just the base PS Plus is really good. Like we got like the Mass Effect collection a few months ago, and I'm like, dude, I totally want to go back and play these, but I have no time.
That's what I wound up dropping down to because it was just too much money. There was too many games, and I only really got it to play the PlayStation 1 classics.
Yeah, and they did stop. They didn't
And
really bring out any of them. They've been slow as hell with
no,
those. They've
and
been
I owned a
so
bunch of them
bad.
on my Vita, so a lot of them that came out, it's like, oh, it's free in your account.
Like
I was like, okay.
they haven't even gotten all the ones that were on that PlayStation Classic system out on there yet, which is
I
kind
hope
of
not. That was a
upsetting.
terrible device.
Well, I mean, at least they could have got at least all those games that were on their PlayStation Classics, but they haven't.
They
But
need Ridge Racer. Is Ridge Racer on there?
I think at least one of them is on there. But they're like, dude, they should have the God of War PSP games are really good. They should have those on there now. Like, there's a ton of stuff that they could have on there.
Oh yeah, the PlayStation 1 library is freaking huge.
Yeah,
They need to get
PlayStation 1,
Square Enix.
PSP. Yes, they got all of that stuff on there, and they're adding like Duck on there. I mean, they've got like I know they have both of the Siphon Filter games are on there. There's some other stuff on there, but there was like a month or two where they would put like one game on there. They're like slow dripping it on there.
No, but they did release Legend of Dragoon, which
They're
I played back in the day, and I've been wanting to give it another shot because I soft locked myself in that game way back when I was sitting in front of a CRT television playing JRPGs well until like 4 a.m. and then going to work at 9 a.m. the next day.
they're making Nintendo look like they're making it rain in the club with their with their classic
Yeah.
releases. Seriously.
Nintendo with their 4 or 5 Game Boy Advance releases.
Right. Although I was super excited about that, I can't lie.
Yeah, I was. I just wish they did more.
Yeah.
I don't.
They've got I mean PlayStation has such a strong back catalog. They need to like up it up. They need to up it a little bit. We need more.
They do.
We
They need to
more.
go to those third parties that they had a really good relationship
Right.
with. Like I said, Square Enix.
Yep.
Get those Final
Get those
Fantasy games on there.
Castlevania games on there. Give me some ESPN Sports on there. Do you remember that?
That's never going to happen, but that would be awesome. I was just
Right.
thinking that the other day with the Nintendo Genesis collection. I was like, they need the old Sega Genesis Maddens on here. How awesome would that be?
Right. Totally. Oh man, if you had all of the old Maddens on there, like NFL Game Day, that was fun.
I'm not going to say I have them, but I have them.
Yeah, the sports games will never come, but that would be if you could go back and like just start playing them year by year and compare them.
I could do that.
That would be exciting.
I have kind of a big library.
Do you still
that,
have
maybe one day
Do you still
you
have
could come
PS
over
Plus?
and maybe we. No, I just have the normal PS Plus.
Okay,
now.
yeah, but next month you should play that Sackboy: A Big Adventure. That game is really good.
Was that the freebie?
Yes, yeah, that's like the game that came out when PS5 launched, and it's almost like Mario 3D World.
You know, that's on PC. I've been waiting for it to come down in price. They never put that game on sale.
I'm surprised because it sold like 10 copies on PC, I believe. It did not sell well on PC at all.
I think that's why they're not dropping the price on it.
Right, totally. But dude, that game is really good. And that game uses the haptics and the triggers amazingly.
Oh, yeah, then I definitely got to play it on the PS5.
Yeah, and it honestly, if that game was reskinned as like a Mario, it would have got so much love. It'd have been like 9 out of 10 everywhere. But it's a really excellent game. I can't recommend it enough.
Yeah, I get all the games for free. I don't even know what I have at this point, so I will keep an eye out for that one, and I will install it. And you, sir, you have to play Elden Ring.
I do.
You
I
owe
just
it
got.
to your
I know.
viewers.
I know. I should have videos where it's noob plays Elden Ring.
No spoiler. You didn't see anything on it, right? So
I
you
haven't.
don't know a
No.
damn thing?
I don't know anything.
Keep it that way before
Yeah.
you play it.
I will.
Don't even look anything up. Don't look up the map or nothing.
I haven't because it was like like I said, how I didn't play Horizon until September because Breath of the Wild was coming out. Well, I kind of reversed it this time. I'm like, all right, well, Horizon. I love Horizon, so I'm like, I'm playing Forbidden West. I'm not playing Elden Ring. So and Forbidden West is so long, and it's just like, when do you start a game like Elden Ring? It's like you got to be in the right mood. You got to have enough time, and there's just always stuff coming out. So I didn't. And then I was waiting for it to go on sale, and it didn't go on sale till like literally the end of the year, because obviously the game was just selling like gangbusters. So
Yeah. I would not be surprised if it is still selling like gangbusters. Hell, I own it twice. I'd buy it a third time. I might buy it on PlayStation.
oh man, yeah, I do need to get to that. But what else you got? Any other quick hitters? Really, I think that's really all I got for tonight. Just the Last of Us PC debacle. I can't believe that they released a game in that state. There was supposedly some like discrepancy whether like it was Iron Galaxy that helped them with that game or Naughty Dog did it, or I don't know what the deal is, but
I did see Iron Galaxy worked on it, and Iron Galaxy's kind of like a hit or miss company because they did some really good ports, especially.
I think they did
like
the Batman. I think it was Arkham Knight. Remember that one? They pulled it from Steam basically because it was so bad.
I think they had a hand in all of the Batman games.
Did they? Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, they've had some really good ones though too. Like they did all the Capcom Fighters on Xbox 360. Like they released Street Fighter 3. That was a pretty good port from what I remember. I think they did Marvel vs. Capcom 2. They did a couple others that oh, they did Killer Instinct.
Oh yeah, did they did they do the PC one or they did the second game, right? They did.
No, they took it over from the company that
yeah,
was
that's
working
right
on it.
because
They
yeah, that
did,
one company
like, the whole final season.
that company got bought by Amazon or something, I believe.
Yeah,
Yeah, so
and I think they came in and released at least the final season,
right,
if not
yeah,
more.
Right. Oh, that's right. I forgot about that.
That's a good game.
Yeah, that is a good game. So yeah, I don't know what's up with that. That's kind of embarrassing to release like one of your biggest tentpole games on PC and it to look like that and crash all over the place and not very good.
After having so many good releases, though, too.
Right? Yeah.
That's what hurts more. Like I think Spider-Man came out in a really good state on PC.
Right. Totally.
I know there was problems with Horizon when it came out, but that was their first release. That was their first foray into PC ports. But they got that fixed. I have it on PC. It plays great.
Right.
I just don't like playing the game.
Yeah.
But that's all that I have.
Spider-Man. I think Spider-Man was good too. Basically, correct.
Yeah, Spider-Man was really good. I didn't buy that at launch though, but I have it installed and I played it a couple of weeks ago and it was running pretty good on my 3080. That's a graphics card for you non-PC
I hate PC.
video gamer.
I hate PC. Not a huge fan. No thanks.
Even though my PC is more powerful than your PlayStation 5.
Somebody lost my PC. I'm PC gamers. Did you see Greg Miller on Twitter was making fun of all the PC this PC thing? He was like, "You idiots!" He's like, "I'll tell you how you go play Last of Us on PC. You walk over here, you turn on your PlayStation 5." It was just you'd have to see the video. It was really funny.
I did not, and nor will I, because I do not like that guy.
I don't really care for him either, but I thought that was funny. It was trending when all that stuff was going down.
I'm sure they'll fix the game in no time.
Right, probably, but it's still a bad look. Like, especially with all. Did you see the Steam reviews?
Oh yeah, the moment I saw you texted me, and then I saw another video on it, and I was like, oh, I got to go look at these reviews, and the whole thing is just red, negative everywhere, and I'm reading, and I'm like, oh, this is bad. This is like Batman Arkham Knight bad.
Yeah. Yeah, that's bad. They might have to pull that too. I don't know.
No, they're not going to pull it. I bet you they'll have it fixed well, they'll be stupid to not have it fixed within the month.
Right, totally. But all right, yeah, that's all I got. Thanks everybody for watching, and if you're new here, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Make sure to like this video. I got probably this coming up Saturday, I'm going to be doing a Resident Evil ranking where I'm going to rank the modern Resident Evil games, Resident Evil 2, 3, 4 remake, and 7 and 8, and more VR Walking Dead shenanigans, and then whatever news we got coming up. So that is all I got. I will see you guys later. Thanks for coming by, Rebel Blood. We'll see you guys
again
next Thursday, 9 p.m. Eastern, 8 p.m. Central. And take care, everyone. Later.
Have a good night.